And welcome to Reliving My Youth. My name is Noel Fogelman. My guest this week is Bobbie Brown, the actress, the model, the video vixen, the stand-up comedian, the author. She's done it all. She's written 2 books, Dirty Rocker Boys and Cherry on Top, with the 3rd on the way. I highly recommend both audio versions. They're fantastic. She narrates them both. She got her start on Star Search, where she won the Spokesmodel competition a record 13 times. That really got her career started. She appeared in a ton of videos, most notably Warrant's Cherry Pie. We talk about the video, her relationship with it. She's been in a ton of movies, TV shows. We'll talk about her meeting Vanilla Ice for the first time because she was in Full as Ice with him. Let's talk about some of her professional regrets. She has a couple of those. And the real-life scary incident that put her on the path she's on these days. I really enjoyed my conversation with Bobbie, and I hope you do as well. Bobbie, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so just fill us in. Like, what have you been up to these days?
What have I been up to these days? That's such a big question. Wow, what haven't I been up to? Writing a book, writing my 3rd book. I just finally finished 2 days ago, which it's been a labor of love. It's been about maybe over a year it's taken me. My daughter helps co-author it. So trying to get our schedules on the same sometimes isn't easy.
Right.
Doing that, making appearances. I'm starting to do that. That's kind of new to me. Like I've never done like Comic-Con or
Right.
types of things, nor did I ever think that I was like somebody wanted to see, like
Yeah.
and it's a thing.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently it's a thing.
It's a thing.
Apparently it's a thing. So I'm starting to do that. Hopefully that goes well. In talks to do a podcast, in talks to do a reality show. Everything's in talks right now.
Of course. Yeah.
So everything's, being discussed. So whatever, God decides he's going to, open that door, that's the door I'll walk through.
Right. And
Yeah.
in regards to those Comic-Cons, they're interesting. I've been to a bunch. They're fun because, as a guest, you get to meet people that you've, looked up to or worked with or wanted to meet. But yeah, just be careful. Yeah.
So you're freaking me out a little bit. So I have this one in Miami coming up, and my attorney is the one who put it together. And he's like, the guy's kind of obsessy and stalkery vibing. And I was like, why would you tell me that?
Right, exactly.
Like, what am I walking into here?
Yeah.
Like, what? Like, why are you saying that? So now I'm like a week away from having to go to Miami to do this thing where who knows what I'm going to walk into. So my daughter's like, I'm going to put you on the 360 app.
Yeah.
You're going to know where you are at all times.
Yeah.
All the details, the names, the phone numbers, the address, wherever you're going to be. I'm like, yeah, okay. Normally I feel really confident about that. I'll just fly in, do my thing, fly out. Everything's easy. Everybody's great. This one's getting a little curious for me.
Yeah. But no, that's
I don't know. So hopefully.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine. But yeah, that 360 app is crazy because my whole family's on it, and it's amazing. You get to track all your kids. I track my wife, she tracks me, and it's fun,
I've never been on it, but my daughter suggested it, and I said,
yeah. It's good. It's a good safety, thing. Totally. But yeah, you mentioned the 3rd book, hopefully coming out next year. And I loved your first 2 books, first Dirty Rocker Boys and then Cherry on Top. I listened to the audiobook in both in 2 days. They were fantastic. I like when an author will just tell their story, verbally rather than, write it down, because you feel like you're with the person, whose story you're reading. And, you went through a bunch, and I'm glad you came out, on the other side really well. Was there any blowback with first with Dirty Rocker Boys?
I would say there were some threats.
Okay.
There were some threats that there were some people who weren't real happy with the fact that I was coming out with a book and the possibility of the things that I could possibly say.
Right.
But as long as you're being completely honest, 100% truthful, nobody can sue you. So that said, I didn't have any, anybody trying to sue me or
Right.
anything like that, but it was a salacious book. I don't know that I would write a book that salacious now,
Okay.
but then it was,
Yeah.
I was, the timing was right, I guess, and
Right.
it did really, really well. And but yeah, we change, we grow, we're different people
Yeah.
we change every year. But yeah, it's still doing well. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, had a crazy life.
Yeah, and I think Rolling Stone ranked it in the top 50 of the best rock memoirs of
Yeah,
all time. So congrats, because that it was
yeah, I think
interesting.
41, I
Yeah,
think.
right.
Yeah, that's kind of a cool honor.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it seems like every rock star or everyone associated with rock has a book, but to have yours up there,
That's
it's
kind of cool. Yeah, that
yeah,
was.
yeah. And I know the second book kind of focused on like your kind of life after and like your journey into stand up, which
Yeah.
I laughed out loud a lot with some of the jokes that you told.
Did
Uh,
you?
yeah, which were great because I kind of like that humor too.
Thank.
Yeah, you stopped doing stand up a while ago.
I stopped doing stand up. I'll still do it.
Yeah,
So I went into stand up thinking, so in my early 20s, I auditioned for the Groundlings and I got
right.
in on my audition to the second level, which was great.
Yeah,
And then I was dating a guy who said I wasn't funny, so I quit, which was stupid.
yeah,
And so it was kind of like a bucket list thing that I'd always had over my life. Like, what if I would have done that? Could I have succeeded? Would it be on SNL by now? Who knows?
yeah,
Like, if I would have just stopped listening to, stupid men in my life telling me lies
yeah.
and followed my dreams, actually, then maybe I would be in a different place. But everything takes its turn. But so I decided when it came to a point in my life, my brother was moving to Minnesota. Him and my nephew, who was the love of my life,
Mhm.
was moving away. And I thought to myself, I'm about to go dark. I'm about to go dark. Stuff's about to get ugly. I don't know what to do. So I thought, I'm going to try it. I'm going to give it a shot. And I reached out to a couple of comedians and they were like, no, girl, you got to be in the business for 11 years. You got to do your time. Like, there's no way you can just pop in and,
Right.
it happened for you. Like, good luck with that. I don't suggest it. And I ignored them
Good.
and did it anyway. And I did really well, like right away. And some people were pissed. But the thing is not that I was so great. It was just that I could sell the tickets.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, and I did it and I went into it thinking like, oh, it's going to be the salve of the sadness that I have or whatever. It's going to, me making other people laugh. It's going to bring me such joy that it's going to change whatever I'm feeling on the inside. And it doesn't do that at all. Like, in fact, I remember sitting backstage at a comedy show and I was always opening for the headliners, which was crazy.
Right.
I was selling the tickets and I wasn't that great, but I mean, I went up there very confidently, no matter what, whether I bombed or not, I still did it, which is probably the hardest thing I've ever done.
Right.
Doing stand up is probably the hardest thing anybody could do. It's not easy,
No.
and I thought like I can do this.
Yeah, of
Like I've
course.
done it all. And I was sitting backstage with two major named comedians and so dark and morose. And I thought to myself, like, maybe I'm not screwed up enough to be funny or
Right.
to, like, because everything that they were talking about was just like so dark. Like in the first 8 minutes of me meeting them, I'm like, why is he telling me this story? Oh my
Mhm.
gosh. And I got that vibe from a lot of comedians. There's a lot of like shame and darkness and stuff that they're like harboring. And then they go
Right.
out on stage and they,
Yeah.
kill it. And I often tried to wonder like if that tied together, if that was like I gotta get out of the sun. Hold on.
No
If
problem.
that kind of tied it together, like maybe that's their release. And I asked other comedians, I'm like, after you went on stage, did you know right away? Were you like,
Yeah.
this is it? This is it for me? I mean, and they all said yes. They all
Right.
said, oh my God, I quit my job. That's all I wanted to do was do comedy. I did 11 shows a day. I would go around town and I would go at every stand-up thing. And I was like, I do not feel that. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like, so I just was like, I did it. I succeeded at it. I checked it off the box. I would do it again. But does it give me all the things that I thought it was going to give me, like that feeling or whatever? Or does
Right.
it didn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't, that wasn't it.
Right. And what
Yeah.
what you were doing, it's kind of like unheard of. Like you were just trying to write a new set each time you were going out there.
Which they told me was really dumb. But I felt like I had the same people coming to see me all the time. And I thought, well, they've already heard that one.
Yeah.
So I need to rewrite it. And he's like, do you know, I had a comedy coach. I went to comedy classes.
Okay.
After my second class, the guy was like, you're ready. You're ready. And I was like, there's no friggin' way.
Right.
He's like, no, you're ready. You're ready. And I was like, no way. So then I kept trying to recreate the wheel every time I went. And he's like, why are you trying new material opening for, headliners? Like, why are you doing that? I go, because I don't want anybody to get bored. I don't want people to get bored. And he's like, people work on their sets for years.
Right.
Like, yeah. And I remember I went to a comedy show where I used to love Dane Cook.
Okay.
I'd seen him a year previous and I saw him and I could do all of his jokes.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I was like, I don't want to do that.
Right.
So I don't know. I would still do it. If somebody hired me to do comedy, I would do it. It would probably be less rambunctious. It would be less foul, be less perverted. Like, I'm a Christian now, so things have changed a lot. And, but I've done comedy since I've become a Christian and it's just different. It's just different. Yeah. It's just different. I just tell true stories about my crazy family and that's it. But there's nothing perverse. I try not to cuss. I do my best. But like I said, I never loved it.
Right.
And I really thought I would.
Yeah. But I mean, at least it's something you did. You checked it off the list and you say you succeeded. So at least that's good. Yeah.
Yeah. I did it. Yeah.
Yeah. So talk about your journey into God a little bit.
Well, for 37 years, I lived in Hollywood. So I moved out there when I was 17. I wanted to eat the world. And I did all the stuff. Like, things happened for me very quickly. I got successful very quickly. Fame came to me very quickly. I never had to get a part-time job. All the things that come with those things. Some of the sinister things I coped with doing drugs. And that also came very easily. It was basically anything you want. Anything you want, you can have it. And I did all the stuff. I mean, I probably sabotaged a lot of my career from doing drugs, from things that have happened that I've never talked about. I am talking about it in this book.
Okay.
Never talked about it in the past books because I just didn't want to be re-triggered.
Right.
But I feel like this book and this time and this space that we're living in is, it's the time is right. The timing is right.
Yeah.
And it's not so taboo to talk about these things. And the truth is coming to the light, every day. Right. So I feel like in this book, it's going to be a revelation about a lot of things I've just overlooked or didn't talk about or want to talk about or feel.
Yeah.
So 2020 came around. I meet this girl. She pretends to have a magazine, takes my interview for this fake magazine, and low key, she's a stalker. And me, I'm traveling from LA, like chronicling on my Instagram, like I'm in this town, and I'm moving back, and I'm doing everything. And there's no lack of anything that nobody knew I wasn't doing. Like, I was doing everything and I was posting it. Everybody knew. It was no secrets. No secrets with me, usually, ever. It's hard to keep a secret. And so this person thought that I was supposed to be, she was a female, thought that I was supposed to be her husband,
Okay.
which is okay.
Yeah.
So I'm the dude. I don't know. And she put a keylogger on my computer. She came to my condo, gave me an interview for a fake magazine that didn't exist, made her way around my condo while I'm getting refreshments, and she put a keylogger on my computer. Before I even knew that I was hijacked or hacked, I had no clue. It was like my computer was acting weird, my accounts were acting weird, my mouse was acting weird. It never dawned on me, you know? She was acting weird, like super obsessive, calling me 182 times a day, texting me, showing up at my place. Like something inside of me told me to be afraid of her.
Right.
And everybody was like, you're just being paranoid. And I've never had that. I mean, I've lived in LA around the kookiest kooky kooks in your entire life that you could possibly ever run across. And I come to Louisiana and it happens here. And
Right.
I'm just like, what the heck? So I had my identity stolen for 3 years. Every form of royalty or monetary gain that I had ever made as Bobbie Brown was stolen.
Wow.
And every aspect. She became me online, even my verified accounts.
Wow.
And I had an existential, I mean, I had a breakdown. I shaved my head. I broke down. I couldn't get into any of my accounts. I had to go to LA to prove myself twice in court because she was collecting my unemployment during COVID as me. It was just crazy. And I just remembered just not functioning. I just got to a point where I just didn't care anymore. I wasn't showering. I was crying. Nothing mattered. I'd given up basically. And I remember saying one point, I can't do this anymore. I've thrown everything possible at it. Money, people, attorneys,
Right.
FBI's, courts, like everything. And nothing's moving. But you know, that was God. Like he was allowing me to have this death of self. I didn't know that at the time, obviously, right? And I remember my mom saying, like, if you don't pull yourself together, you're never going to see your nephews again. I was like, I'll show her, you know.
Yeah.
Don't tell me what I'm not going to do.
Right.
So I looked up EMDR therapy because it's good for PTSD. And
Okay.
I had it. I was triggered. Every noise, I was like,
Yeah.
you know, like she knew the code to my gate, like everything. I saw her car everywhere. It was just like, I was beyond paranoid that I was traumatized. I was literally traumatized. She pulled like a loaded 38 on me.
Wow.
It went deeper than just the hacking and the stolen identity. It was like a whole extra level
Right.
of scary things that happened that I'm not even going to get into. But I started taking EMDR therapy, and I took an intensive. It lasted like 5 hours, and I feel like during that intensive, I kind of opened my heart in a way that, like, I told this lady everything that I'd never told anyone.
Right.
Like stuff that I had shoved under the carpet from childhood to that moment.
Yeah.
And she said, "You're scaring me." I was like, "Well, hold up.
Yeah.
Hold on a sec. If I'm scaring you, then I think we're done here."
Right.
Because you know, I don't mean to be scaring you, but this is my life, was happening. And I went home and I had a supernatural encounter with the Lord that changed my life, my destiny, my eternity, my everything. Like I remember coming home from this session, going straight to the room. I wasn't even fully asleep. I just closed my eyes. And from that moment, I felt the energy being weird, and I felt like I was breathing weird. And I was like, what's happening? And I heard, "Do not be afraid, my child." I was like, whoa,
Right.
this is next level. And I remember thinking to myself, how am I breathing so deeply? Like, you know, your human brain thinks,
Yeah.
how am I doing these supernatural things
Right.
that your body can't do even while trying? And with every supernatural breath he was infusing into me, how much he loved me. And you cannot replicate how much love that feels like, or that you can imagine how much he loves you. It was just like, I'd never felt so much love in my entire life. And I immediately started to repent. Like immediately, when the Holy Spirit touches you, you don't go back from that.
Right.
You don't go, hold on, let me think about it.
Yeah.
It touches you, and it changes the game forever. I start to repent. I'm crying. I get loud at some point, I guess. My mom comes in. She's scared, like, hey, girl, you okay? I grab her by the shirt. Because, mind you, I didn't grow up. I believed in God.
Right.
Didn't know you could have a relationship with Jesus. Nobody talked to me about Jesus. I'd never opened a Bible. I prayed when, like, it was like do or die. Like, oh, God, I'm about to die. God help me. It was like, that last shout out. We're like, hey.
Hey, yeah.
But never didn't know how to pray, didn't know how to do any of the things. And he spent that entire night, like, my eyes were closed, but it was so bright in the room and I couldn't open my eyes. But before I could finish thinking a thought, by the time my eyes flickered to the right under my eyelids, he answered it. He answered it. And he also showed me my entire life from my birth to that moment, and every single moment where he was. Like that one time where I'm like, oh, I almost died. Oh my gosh. Or, all those moments he showed me where he was. And it was incredible. Like, it changed everything for me. It really did. And I'm crying and I'm scaring my mom. She calls my daughter. She's like, your mom's done lost it. She's spiraling out. She's in the other room. She's hollering. She's grabbing me by the shirt, telling me how to pray. I'm trying to get away from her because I kept repeating it. I grabbed her by the waist and I'm like, this is how you pray. And she's like, okay. Like trying to get away.
Right.
Away. And it continued. Like it didn't stop there. Like the Lord wasn't finished. And it went on all night. He answered every prayer. He showed me every picture. He showed me where he was. It was incredible. And then I remember being exhausted by that time, just being like, I had one last question, and it was about Janie. I wanted to know.
Right.
I was concerned about his soul.
Yeah.
And he gave me such a peace and such a comfort about that question that I just broke into tears, almost like, oh my God, thank you, Lord. Thank you so much. Because I was worried about him, I loved him. He was the love of my life. I was worried about him and his soul. And I never knew you could pray for marriage. I never knew you could pray for your spouse. I never knew you could pray for addiction. I never knew you could pray for everything. Now pray about everything. I never knew you could pray.
Yeah.
And that God answers your prayers and that you can have a relationship with Jesus, just like I'm talking to you right now. Like I never knew that existed. And they're not pushing that in California. I'll tell you that. In Hollywood,
I'm sure.
They're not that. Yeah. If anything, they taught me the occult, which was something I was into, and that's a whole nother story. But never in a million years did I think I'd be writing a third book. Never in a million years did I think that.
Yeah, right.
So the incident happened, and I it's like that happened, and I needed to know more. I wanted to know more. I thirsted to know more. I wanted to know him more. I found a church. I found a group. I found a prayer group. I got a Bible. I was on fire to know him.
Yeah.
I didn't want to lose that feeling that we had, that moment that we shared for 8 hours in that room. Like just the thought of me not having that feeling again, I was like, I don't ever want to lose that. So my life has existed of me trying to figure out how I can be effective for the kingdom. Because that night I said, I will say your name and preach your word and give you your glory until my last breath. I was like the last thing I said.
Right.
And he said, get some rest, my child. And I went to sleep.
Okay.
And I woke up, and I'm not gonna lie, like, you know how they say the scales come off your eyes?
Yeah.
I saw things different. I was different. I felt different. I I don't know. It was just, it was amazing. You're a new creation. You truly
Right.
are. And yeah, so it's just been a journey of progress and of me being just in total submission. I don't even know what that looks like. Every day I'm like, Lord, I don't know what I'm doing
Yeah.
today. I don't know what you have for me, but I'm here for it.
Right.
Um, and so yeah, that's what I've been doing.
Yeah. That's great. Were your friends and family skeptical about this?
So the funny thing is I'm under their roof, which is something I haven't done in 37 years. And I lost everything. So he put me back into my parents' home, which
Right.
isn't cool. It's not a comfy situation. It was awkward. It's
Yeah.
weird. But I often hear from him, he'll say stuff like, I'm planting seeds. You're planting seeds by
Yeah.
being, I'm watering them. You
Right.
being there is it. I'm being, there's a reason I'm here. I don't know what that reason is,
Right.
but it's, I think, to be an example to my lost family members. I don't know what it is like, but I do see a difference. I do see that we have conversations that we couldn't have had a year ago or
Right.
2 years ago or ever.
Yeah.
Um, and those are important conversations. Um, so yeah, I mean, I feel like there's a purpose and a plan, and I know he has his timing. His timing isn't as quickly as I would love it to be, obviously,
Yeah.
but I trust in him and whatever that is. And whenever that is, I
Right.
know he's gonna work it out for me. I know who holds my future. You know, he's got it.
Yeah. That's great, and I hope that all works out for you.
Me too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. Yeah, but I want to go way back a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, I was a big fan of Star Search, and like there wasn't many channels back when the show debuted, not like things are now. But all the amazing stars that show produced is like crazy. You look at maybe like America's Got Talent now, but that couldn't
Yeah.
hold a candle to Star Search.
Yeah.
And you were probably the all-time best person on that show. What, 13 weeks in a row you won the
Yeah. Yeah.
spokesperson category, and I still feel. I just watched it, recently again, that you got gypped in the finals, and that's, you got screwed, but that's another point.
God.
I feel like you persevered anyway, and you would have gotten what you gotten if you won or lost. But the looks, but the just the personality, and like when Ed would say, "Hey, let's what's the rest of the show," and you would just toss the break. You had it. You had the whole package, and yeah, and a bunch of things came out of that for you.
Yeah.
Cherry Pie video, which by Warrant. And what's your relationship with that video right now?
My relationship with that video, it's how people know me. I mean,
Yeah.
it will live on forever. It will go on forever. I used to have like a relationship with it, and then I was like, why don't I just embrace it? Because really, it was a time and place. It was a good memory. Now I embrace it. I love it. I love him. I always will.
Right.
Um, there was a time where Warrant and I were like not liking each other, and I don't know if that was their wives or if it was me, or I don't know what it
Yeah.
was, but now I just encourage them. I like their stuff. Somebody said, how do you feel about Jerry releasing a song that Janie wrote that hadn't been released? It's coming out, and I'm like, that it must be cool to work with Janie again.
Yeah.
like I just wish them well. I
Right.
wish everyone well.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah.
can't begrudge anybody at this point in my life. I'm too old.
No, no, you're not. But yeah, but I mean, Janie was an amazing songwriter. I mean, obviously
Buzz.
you would know better than anybody, but the songs he had were just amazing.
Yeah.
And then with Cherry Pie, I mean, it was a great song, but I mean, the video just catapulted that song into like another stratosphere. And
Yeah.
focused on you a lot. How was the fire hose in that video? That was that like a real fire hose?
That was a real fire hose.
Okay.
Real fire hose. And they got that shot in one take because they absolutely refused to do it a second time
Okay.
because the force of the water from that hose peeled my eyelids back into my head.
Oh, jeez.
Like it was so much force of water to the face that I was like, oh, I am not doing that again. I
Right.
hope you got it because that was traumatizing.
Yeah.
Why is that necessary? Yeah. So I fought a lot with that director. The director wanted me to do a lot of things I didn't do in that video, but still a lot of things got done.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you were in some other videos before that, like
Yeah.
Hurricanes, I'm on to you, Great Whites, One Bitten, Twice Shy, and then Louie Louie's sitting on the top of Luxury.
Yep.
You remember who directed that video by Louie Louie?
I don't.
Michael
Just
Bay.
get out of here.
Yeah. Yeah. So he
Wow.
started out doing music videos and he made these big budget movies. So
That's so crazy. So whenever I would see him at the Playboy Mansion and he would say hi to me, I'd be like, I wouldn't know who he was.
right.
But I mean, how can you remember everybody you
I'm
meet?
sure, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I did not know that. That's a
Yeah.
true.
Kind of
Wow. Wow.
funny. Yeah. And I remember seeing I was love Debbie Gibson, big fan, and Times Two opened up for her when I saw her the first time. And you were actually on tour with them, right? You were a background dancer?
No, I just
Oh
did the
no.
video.
Oh,
No, I wasn't
okay.
tour with them. I was the go-go dancer in Cecilia.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Did you enjoy like doing all these videos?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
fun. Like MTV was where it was
Yeah,
at the time.
absolutely.
It was like that was it. Nobody watched anything but MTV.
Yeah.
So it was like ripe for the picking for me to move to LA right when, MTV was at its, height.
Right.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
I had lots of good times.
That's good. What
Yeah.
was I just interviewed Kristen Minter, who is this co-star of Cool as Ice.
Kristen Mentor, we were with the same agency.
Oh, okay.
We
Yeah.
were agency. We hung out briefly. We were both on in the movie with Vanilla
Yeah.
Ice.
Cool as Ice. Yeah.
Yeah, we were both in Cool as Ice, but she was main character. I only had a little bit part.
Yeah.
Gorgeous girl,
Yeah.
gorgeous,
Yeah.
such a girl. Yeah, we lost touch over the years, but yeah, we were with the same agent, and
Yeah. Yeah. She's now actually she's modeling now on the runway model. Yeah.
wow,
Yeah. Yeah. Actually beautiful. And yeah, she's
her, good
yeah,
for her. She was
rocking
always
it out. Yeah.
done.
Yeah. So what was like, because I mean, obviously Vanilla Ice at that point, he was like the biggest star in the world. They gave him a movie, and then what was that like working with him? I know you were like in it the first couple minutes, but like you had your scene with him.
So he came up to me and he said, "Yo, yo, yup, yup, what's up?" And I was like,
Okay.
all right. But after, when he tried to do like his rock thing, he kept in touch with me and I went to some of his shows and he was cool. But when he was doing his Vanilla Ice thing, he was very in that role.
Yeah.
So when he met me backstage at my dressing room, the yo yo, yup, yup, what's up? I was like, wow,
Right.
cool.
Yeah. Was that like all like just a gimmick for him, or is it actually his like everyday life while he was Vanilla Ice?
I think I think that was his Vanilla Ice costume.
Yeah.
I think that was his, what he had to go with because then he switched it up like
Yeah.
so hard and became like a dad and started flipping houses and
Yeah.
was like a normal guy. And I went to see him in his rock show and he was totally normal. He didn't have any of his yo yo, yep,
Yeah.
yep, yippee type talks. He was like normal,
Right.
like like a normal conversation. Like, hey, Bobbie, how you doing?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so he was cool and very nice and charming. I mean, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, because at that time in like of the early 90s, you were constantly working between all these different movies and TV shows. Talk to me a little bit about Last Action Hero with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like your scene had like Angie Everhart was in it, working in the store, and then you in the store. Just talk to me about that a little bit.
Yeah, so people ask me about this a lot because Arnold is as tall as he is wide.
Right.
You know what I mean? So when I had to do my scene with him over the rafters of where the Blockbuster videos
Yeah.
were, he had to be taller than me, you know?
Yeah.
So they brought him an apple box to stand on so he could be taller than me during the scene. And I was 5'8" and I had like heels on, so who knows? But he was very nice. Um, Not real chatty. Um, it was a very quick scene, but
Yeah.
yeah, it was like supermodels were working the store,
So, yeah.
of course. Always loved her, and yeah, it was cool. I didn't even, I didn't even want to be an actress. And they were like, "You have a call for to be in this movie," and I was like, "Okay." And I
Right.
went and got the part, and it was cool. It's shot in Malibu at the Blockbuster on Malibu Road.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I know in the first book you talk about the meeting you had with Steven Spielberg.
What a
And
disaster. Yeah.
yeah, is that like one of your like biggest like professional regrets?
Gosh, I have so many. I have so many. That is one, the one where I didn't take Robert De Niro's call. He called my house specifically for me to play the part that Sharon Stone won the Golden Globe for, or Emmy for,
Oh, for Casino?
or in Casino. He offered me the part, and Tommy wouldn't let me take the part.
Wow.
So there's that. Um, but yeah, just I was just so unself-aware. I'll say I was around surrounded by a lot of yes people
Right.
that generally didn't really care about my well-being, and I didn't know that,
Okay.
you know. So it was kind of like a live and learn situation, and sometimes the learn was hard, but
Yeah.
when you're in LA, it's like everybody's competing for the same thing, and every single
Right.
day is a competition, and it's a hard business to navigate as a human being on a daily basis who has feelings, emotions, and you're not even there to be famous. You're just there to get a job. Like some people are, some people aren't. It's just like a whole different it's just a different world. It's a
Right.
different world to try and live in LA and make it in the entertainment industry. And I don't know if it's gotten any easier, but it wasn't easy.
Right.
Yeah.
It's almost like someone should like teach a class when you first get out there of like what to
Literally,
look out for, what to do. And it's,
literally. Yeah,
yeah, it's a shame.
I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Do you often get asked about Double Trouble with the Paul brothers?
That's hilarious. Not often. I don't often get asked, but I think that was my first movie
Okay.
ever.
Yeah.
And I remember they had me flipping off some bar or something. I don't remember, but I remember,
Yeah.
do that in the edit. So I had to like hang upside down from this bar. It had to look like I was flipping by myself or
Right.
something. I don't know. I don't even think I ever watched the movie, but I was so young. I feel like I was 18 or 19 when I did that
Yeah.
movie. And they were huge, which was
Yeah.
weird.
Right. Like literally
Yeah.
and figuratively. Yeah.
Yeah. But also as tall as they were wide.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Everybody's so much shorter than you think they are
Right. No,
in LA.
it's true. It's
It is true.
the magic of the movies, I guess, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. But I think a lot of people from TV remember you from your times doing Married with Children and the couple episodes, the one where the Bundys were in the supermarket because their air conditioning went out and they were just hanging out and Al was chasing you around the store, dropping stuff and you were picking the stuff
Yeah.
up and
That episode was called Market Dweller.
right. And yeah,
Yeah.
and that's what you said to him. Thank you, Market Dweller.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was
That
just
was fun.
yeah.
That
Yeah.
was fun. Everyone was super great to me. I think that was a two-part episode, and I was in another dream sequence
Yeah.
from another episode before, like with Pam and some
Yeah.
other people. That lasted 2 seconds, but they brought me back for the Market Dweller episode, and it was a two-parter. And I feel like Leave It to Beaver was in it. Beaver, the beef.
Yeah. Jerry Mathers, I think.
I
Yeah.
think he was at the end of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the beef.
The
Yeah,
beef. The beef. Yeah.
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 and like one of the hottest like stars besides the show, and there was also Christina Applegate. And
Yeah.
you kind of like turn your head, the profile of you and her was like you couldn't tell the difference. So
Wow.
yeah. What was she like working on set with her?
She was a little standoffish
Okay.
at first. But towards the end she warmed up because I mean we were working together for more than just 1 or 2 days.
Right.
So, and I feel like that episode was their 100th episode and they had like a party after and she was nice, but like we didn't exchange numbers or anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure she had a lot going on too, you know.
I'm, I'm
Yeah.
sure.
I used to watch The Ex-Wives of Rock all the time. Really enjoyed that show. Do you still speak to the girls, and what was that experience like?
I still talk to everybody except Lou.
Okay.
To no surprise, probably.
Yeah.
She, we just had a falling out. I tried to help her with some stuff, and it was kind of like the one time too many where you just try and help somebody and then they screw you over, and
Yeah.
you're like, you know, why do I keep going back to this? You know, why do I keep trusting this person is going to be different than she's always been?
Right.
So we don't speak. She has tried to reach out to me. I don't return the calls, but Athena and I are still the closest.
Okay.
And Sharice and I still talk every now and then.
That's good.
We still love each other, of course.
Right. And of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they've totally embraced your like journey with God now.
Absolutely. Athena hit me up and was like, I don't know what's going on with you, girl, but I'm loving it.
That's great.
So yeah, so she and I talk more than any of us. I remember Sharice called me and went like, oh, so I see something new is in your life. I guess she saw my baptism photo.
Okay.
And we talked for like an hour. But yeah, like all the people who actually loves me still loves me at every version of myself that I've ever been. They still love me. So that's a good friend.
That's great. Yeah. And your relationship with Athena was never affected with what happened with Tommy, huh?
With what happened with no. I got her out of the divorce.
Okay.
Like, is that what you? Yeah, she and I. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah. So, like, where can people find you on like social media and whatnot?
So yeah, on IMDB, I'm Bobbie Brown, BOBBIE. On Instagram, I am at Brown Bobbie. Facebook, bobbiejeanbrown.3, X, bobbiejeanbrown, and most are social network. I guess Threads is at Brown Bobbie because it's connected to Instagram. So yeah, at Brown Bobbie, at bobbiejeanbrown is basically where you can find me.
Right. It's a lot to keep up with, isn't it?
Yeah, and IMDb, of course.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. But Bobbie, best of luck with everything. I can't wait to read the next book. And good luck with, or I should say, listen to the next book because I'm sure you're going to be, narrating it again. And everyone check out the first two books because they are great. And best of luck with the conventions. Hope they go smoothly. Yeah.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure to meet you, Noel.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm really happy everything's working out for you. I really am.
And a special thanks to Bobbie for joining me today. She mentioned all her socials, but I'll mention Instagram again. She's at Brown Bobbie. And if you want to check out all her work that she's done, go to IMDB under Bobbie Jean Brown. And if you have a guest suggestion, you can hit me on X, formerly Twitter, at @thefirstknoll19, and be sure to like the page Living My Youth on Facebook. You can go to iTunes, check out all the past episodes we've had. We have over 350. But while you're there, please rate and review the show. I would really appreciate it. You don't have iTunes? Not a problem. Show's on SoundCloud, Spotify, Podbean, Amazon Music, YouTube, wherever you can find a podcast. A new episode will come out soon. Stay safe, everybody. Happy holidays.